And as people come through, they come through and I'll let them in. But we want to get started right now. So I have the chat feature open. So if you guys have questions throughout this webinar, let me know. But this project is called Content into Cash, or into Clients, I should say. We rebranded about a month ago. It was Content into Cash, but Content into Clients sounded a little bit better. And so basically what we did was we created a process where we've taken the Hollywood form of creating content, right? Movies and everything, and we've put it towards social media and how you can create the same thing no matter what business you're in. Service-based business, whether you're an actor, whether you're a musician, whether you have things to sell online, e-commerce, the whole nine, the same thing applies to every single person, right? And so what we've done is we've taken that concept and we've put it into a process that I like to call Content into Clients. So just to let everybody know, there is a lot of misinformation out there regarding social media. There's also good information out there. What we've done over the last 4 years of us doing this particular program is we have done a lot of trial and error and have failed a lot. And in so doing, we have figured out what's working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys that information right now. Don't worry if it hasn't been working for you or if you guys have not started yet. That's what this thing is all about. So this webinar is for two kinds of people that are just beginning, wanted to get their feet wet and try to figure out what it is that they can do to increase their ROI and increase their top line revenue. And that's basically why I created this as well, is because I wanted to be intentional about bringing in money. Like, great, who cares if you have 1 million followers and you're not making money? Like, that's not computing for me. And so what I wanted to do was I want to create content so that we can monetize. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. So this is for beginners. And this is also for people that are looking to scale their businesses to the next level with social media content. And so I put that together for you guys today. So my goal for the next 60 minutes is to give you guys the keys to unlock exponential growth in your business using this Content into Cash system. Please remind me to fix that, Will, to put it back into Content into Clients. Thank you. All right. So just a little bit about me. And in the last 4 years of doing this, I've been able to grow my company to 7 figures. I get to work on my passion projects. I get to travel as a result of doing this in particular. So please take notes because I know you guys are going to get some really good value from it. To also give you guys an idea of where I was, I was just like a lot of you guys, working paycheck to paycheck, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I started my business. I was a solopreneur trying to, super overwhelmed, bringing in, 60K in revenue with my business yearly. My debt was increasing, depression, anxiety increases when you're not making enough money, right? Then COVID hits and I had a baby on the way, right? So talk about being in a pickle, right? And I remember when my wife got pregnant and I was just sitting there crying because obviously I was happy that we were about to have a baby, but also crying because I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what I have been doing for the last number of years with my production company that I started in 2012 wasn't really working. Right. And so I was like, there was no predictability in my business. There was no real cash flow. I didn't know where my clients were coming from. Everything was just really up in the air. And I wanted more of a predictable business. And so what happened was I got a call. It was 2019, and I had done a podcast during COVID-19 with my friend Lewis, who owns Bader Scott. And we started talking because I knew he had a successful law firm. And I was like, Lewis, how did you do it? What did you do? And he was just giving me all this information in this podcast. Excuse me. He was giving me all this information. It was my first podcast with him. And then like 4 months later, he calls me up and says, hey, Armando, I started a company called 8 Figure Firm. And I'm teaching these attorneys how to scale their businesses to 8 figures. and I want you to come into Atlanta and I want you to shoot a bunch of content for me. Well, at the time, I had only shot commercials, weddings, one-offs here and there. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm going to come in and I'm going to shoot. So I came in, shot like 20, 30 pieces of content in a day. And then he was like, great. I got another client for you. I got this client for you. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I started just kind of listening to what he was doing, right? And I went to his masterminds and I saw all of these attorneys going from like 6 figures to 7 and then to 8 figures. And he said, Armando, you have a 7-figure business. And I was like, whatever, Lewis. And me and Lewis went to high school together, right? So there's that, familiar breeds contempt thing. And he's like, no, Armando, I'm serious. You just don't know how to get there. And if you mentor with me, I'll show you. Because he's like, I could tell you this information for free, but if you pay for it, you'll value it and you'll actually put this stuff into practice. And I said, all right, man, what are you looking at? What are we talking? He said, $2,500 a month. $2,500 a month. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And he's like, look, man, you got to get out of mindset, right? Like lesson number 1 is you've got to get out of this limiting beliefs mindset. And then I said, okay, man, whatever, let's go. And I went all in. And so we started mentoring. The first month I started working with him, I made $30,000 in revenue in 1 month. And mainly, and I'll tell you, the main thing that happened was the unlocking mechanism that happened. When I changed the mindset, everything changed, right? And then I started putting all of these things into place, and I was like, there's a system here. And he was like, yes, Armando, everything runs on systems. If you have a system, you'll grow the company. If you have visibility, you'll grow the company. And you guys can write this down. He said the ratios are 36% should go to your employees, 25% should go into marketing, 10% should go into operations, and then the rest should go into your pocket. Now, when you're a solo entrepreneur, or whether you're an artist, actor, dancer, whatever, you are the employee, right? So obviously the 36% is going into your pocket because you're by yourself. But once you start scaling and once you have everything in place, then you can start to move into that ratio. So I started doing that. And then he said, Armando, you have a production company, but you are not online. Like, why are you not creating content for your business? And I was like, you're right, because I'm doing it for everybody else. I should be doing it for myself. And so I committed. I said, I will not let a day go by without me putting out some content, right? And that was 2 years ago when I decided to actually do that, right? And we just, boom, we grew. Like, from $69,000 a year to $500,000. And then we got to 7 figures. And it was like, wait, hold on. What is this? And so, and like I said, I failed a lot. And through that failure, I created this system. And I was like, every time I failed at something, it was another way for me to tweak that system, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it. And so now you guys are getting to experience what it took me 4 years to like actually create. I'm giving this to you guys for free today. So enjoy. All right. So here's something that I want you guys to write down. I want you guys to write down who are your referral partners, because what I want you guys to think about is not just how can I get a sale. I want you guys to think about how can I get 20, 30 sales, right? And these are only going to happen when you start thinking about how can I 10x instead of 2x? And 10x means who are your referral partners? And so that's what I've been, that's what we started doing. And that's what we do for our clients is we go, who can we come into contact with? Who are we talking to in our videos in order to get to those people that can become referral partners that can open up an entire industry for us, right? And Lewis by himself in my podcast, he became it was because of him, we hit $300,000 in revenue because he became a referral partner for us. And so this is what I want you guys to think about. Write it down, and you guys can write down your dream 100 people that you guys want to work with. There's a really fun story where they talked about Rockefeller back in the day, and somebody came in and wanted to borrow $100,000 from Rockefeller. And Rockefeller's like, nope, I'm not going to give you any money. But what I am going to do is I'm going to walk up and down the stock exchange with my arm around you. And by the end of it, everybody in here is going to give you money. And I was like, what a powerful story. Goes back to who are my referral partners? Because if I can start thinking strategically about who I'm connected with, then the doors will start opening. Like, they will not open, they will fly open. And that's how you get to that exponential growth. Okay. So this is Lewis telling you about him. Runs a $45 million law firm in Atlanta called Bader Scott. Started 8-figure firm in 2020. And, you know, we helped take him to 8 figures like within a 3-year period. And so this is all this is what you're learning today. Here's a quick little testimonial from him. I'll share this information with you, but third-party testimonials, guys. And this is my why. This is why I do what I do. My family, my friends, the people that I work for, my clients. It's the people business, right? And I read a really good book a while ago. It's called The Go Giver, and it talked about how am I giving, right? What am I doing? How am I adding value? How am I giving instead of how am I taking? And when you start thinking about that, and that is the whole philosophy behind content into clients, right? And it's the whole philosophy behind creating content is because when you guys start thinking about how can you help people with your content and how can you start helping people get where they want to go with your knowledge and with what you want to say, then you're going to get what you want. Like the money will come, I promise. It just happens naturally. But people are too focused on how can they take instead of what can they give. And so when it comes to social media, if you put 80% out there on giving, on value, on hacks and tips and tricks and all of that stuff, if you make that 80% of what you put out and then 20% call to action, you're going to start getting people to just call in. And they're going to start calling you and they're going to start wanting to do business with you. So keep that in mind. So those are your referral partners. Look, don't be like Blockbuster. And everybody knows the story of Blockbuster because Netflix just took them down. And here's the thing. Every single one of these businesses these days has got to become a production company. 10 years ago, when everybody was like, oh, do we need a website or we don't need a website? Now everybody's like, yeah, you have to have a website and you have to have SEO and you have like, that is a non-negotiable, right? But what happened is now, it being 2023, what people are starting to see is that part of keeping your business healthy and showing that your business is healthy is you consistently posting about your business, third-party testimonials, tips and tricks. What do you do? How do you help? Blah, 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 all of that stuff, right? So when you guys start thinking about, okay, I'm a plumbing company and I'm also a production company, or I'm a personal injury firm and I'm also a production company. Every single business right now has to become a production company along with it. Because guess what? Nobody is going to your website to check whether or not you're in business. They're going to social media. And not only that, they're going to their social media, the one that they like to hang out on. TikTok. Some people like Instagram, some people like Facebook, some people like LinkedIn. So my system tells you to post across all platforms. Don't just worry about one. Because guess what? Here's another quick another lesson for you. Friend of mine had his Facebook hacked. He lost all of his subscribers because he can't get into his Facebook page. Luckily, he's on Instagram and all these other channels, so he was able to get not everybody back, but he was able to get some people back. But he's not losing momentum because he just focused on one platform. So please make sure that you guys are across all platforms and don't be like Blockbuster where your business is going to fail because you're not staying ahead of trends. So here we go. So here's the 3 secrets on how to develop content, how to shoot the content, and how to distribute this content. Look, this isn't rocket science. It just takes work, right? And it takes a commitment. And so what I want to do today is I kind of want to just take some of the mystery away of how to do all of this stuff so that you guys can have it and then you guys can take it and start making money. So secret number 1, let's talk about how to develop the right content so that your audience flocks to your page and wants to give you their money, right? So here's how you develop content. Step number 1, just like when you're making movies, you have to think about who are you talking to? Who's going to watch your content, right? Why are they watching your content? And so when you start creating all of that, you go, oh, okay, it's going to make it a lot easier for me every month to create content because it's easy to figure out, okay, these are the people I'm talking to. And in an acting exercise, right? Because I come from an acting background. In an acting exercise, when I get a script and I'm looking at the person that I'm supposed to be speaking to, and it's supposed to be my dad, then I'm going to deliver the content different. Like I'll deliver the script differently if I'm speaking to my dad, or if I'm speaking to my mom, or if I'm speaking to my grandmother, or if I'm speaking to my boss. The words can stay the same, but if I'm talking to somebody different, it's going to change the way I talk. And so that's the same thing that we're talking about here in social media, is that who am I talking to? If I know who I'm talking to, then the intonation is going to be different. The way I'm saying things are going to be different, right? So that's the first step, is like, who are we talking to? And then we're talking content pillars is a max 3. And let me talk about what content pillars are if you guys don't already know. So if I'm a personal injury attorney, I want to talk about the law. That's fine. And you should. You have to. It's part of it. But what are the other 2 things that round you out as a human being? Do you like to travel? Do you like relationships? Do you like leadership, mindset? Like, what can you speak on that you're passionate about? And so those are the content pillars that you start to create your brand that stays consistent every single time you post something, right? Because if somebody's going to your page and they expect comedy, and then you veer off and you give them something else, you're going to lose your audience. And so that's what we're trying to do. You're going to create the brand so that when people visit your site, they know what they're getting. Just like a channel on TV. People go to Spike TV because they want something. Well, it's not Spike TV anymore. It's Paramount. But the Hallmark Channel has their shows. Oxygen Network has their shows. Sci-Fi has their shows. Comedy Central has their shows. So think about your platform or your social media platforms as a specific thing, right? So you got your content pillars, pick 3. Also, when you're batch creating content in one day, I'm going to teach you how to do 150 pieces of content in one day. I'm going to show you how to do that today. Typecast your brand. So, and we'll talk about this here in a second, but when you're watching TV, there's archetypes for everything. And I'll give you examples of what that means. But like when The Rock is in a movie, it's The Rock, right? Vin Diesel, Kevin Hart, all these cats that have a brand, right? And sort of a character. So embrace your characters, right? Typecast that brand. Make sure you have sticky headlines. Listicles are really, really good. And this is a quick little secret for you. What I do, and in New Orleans, there's a magazine called The Gambit. It's the alternative newspaper. Every city has them. And every year, the city puts out the best of, right? The best of Austin, the best of New Orleans. And within those, they have listicles of like, hey, the best place to get a margarita, the best bar, the best place to get a burger, the best this, the best that. So what you do is you go in and you say, hey, here are my 5 top places to get a burger. Here are my 5 top places to get a drink. Here are my top 5 places for date night. Here are my top 5 places, blah, 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 blah. You tag these restaurants, you tag these businesses, and now they follow you. They share your stuff. It happens all the time, right? So that's a nice, quick little secret that you guys can take. Start creating that sort of content so that, and here's another secret. Remember I was talking about referral partners? Tag people that you want to work with and put them in a listicle. If they're like, if you want to work with this electrician, put them in the top 5 electricians in New Orleans. If you want to work with a plastic surgeon, top 5 plastic surgeons in New Orleans. If I want to work with this personal injury attorney, top 5 personal injury attorneys in New Orleans, like all day. And then they go, who is this person talking about me? Or their assistant goes, hey, people are talking about you here. Who is this guy? Boom. They follow you. Now you open up a conversation, and then I'm a really here in a bit. So stay tuned because I'm about to tell you guys how to really take it to the next level and really start increasing that ROI. So listicles for sure. History of don't ignore this, right? So we were working with a company, the Jefferson Performing Arts Center Society. They're a community theater in New Orleans. Well, we started going, what is the history of different theater facts, right? So what is the break a leg, right? What did break a leg come from? And so we did the history of break a leg. This video got like hundreds of thousands of views, right? We did the history of Macbeth, the history why you don't whistle in the theater. And so we started taking that concept and we're like, couldn't we take this concept and do it for everybody, every one of our clients? And so they did, right? So we were like, okay, for a family law attorney that we did this content for in New York, there was a guy who gave his wife his kidney. She cheated on him. He ended up wanting to get a divorce, but in the divorce, he wanted the kidney back. Obviously, the law was like, no, absolutely not. But it was a fun story to tell, right? And that video also got a lot of views and engagement. So we're like, okay, so then we've got to make sure that we're doing history of with every single one of our clients within their niche, within their industry. So keep that in mind. And then podcasting. Do you guys remember the story that I just said with Lewis? He was my first podcast guest. And because of him, like I made $300,000 with one person, right? That's how powerful a referral partnership can be. And I'm going to teach you guys how to take your podcast and invite your referral partners to it in order to create those relationships to open that door. So powerful stuff, guys. I'm telling you. It's hot today. All right. So remember I talked about the content pillars? So here are your best niches that are going to make money. And when I talk about things that make money, as far as like content pillars, it's what people are already looking up. So what you guys can do is just stop fighting and stop trying to figure out what it is that people want to hear because they already told you. They're already told you. Here are the top ones: how to make money online, finance, gaming, pets, entertainment, food, technology, travel, fitness, personal development, relationships, lifestyle, and real estate. These are the top the top niches to talk about. So find one. And then they also have sub niches within those subcategories within, how to make money online or finance, could be crypto. So find your niche and then find the sub niches in there. And so those are the things that you guys are going to create when you guys are creating the three content pillars: personal injury, and then travel, and then fitness, right? Or plumbing and lifestyle and real estate. Or if you're a real estate agent, it could be real estate, then gaming, then entertainment, whatever. But like this is what people are already searching for. So there's no need to go out there and try to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out. They're already here for you. And here's another quick hack for you. Go to Pinterest. And if you want sticky headlines, go to Pinterest within your industry and it will have it. It'll have it for you. Right. And so you get in there and you go, hey, what happens if you get hit in an Uber accident? Right. And it'll have all of these sticky headlines for you as a personal injury attorney. Right. Or how do I get a divorce? Right. Boom. Now you have all of your family law like topic headlines that are sticky. So that's the profitable niches that you need to talk about. And like I said, I'll have this for you so you guys don't have to look for it. Okay. All right. We talked about archetypes. So does somebody in here want to volunteer to be typecast right now? Wellness is good. Wellness is part of fitness or personal development. All right. No worries. You guys don't have to, I thought maybe somebody would want to get a typecast session in here. Jules, you want to get on?
What is a typecast session?
All right. So Midge, very cool. Let's talk about Midge here real quick. And I'll show you guys how we do this. So, Midge, what are you involved in? What's your niche?
Wellness.
Talk to me about wellness.
Wellness. I actually represent a company called LifeWave, and it's a technology about activating your own body to heal itself.
Very cool.
Your stem cells mainly.
And are you the owner of this company?
Oh, I wish. No.
Okay, but you work for them.
I'm a representative. Yeah, I'm a director.
So you can create content for them, correct?
I I can create content. It's already done. You know, they have actually doing what you're
Oh, I'm
doing.
sure. I'm sure they do. What I'm
And
saying is, but for you in particular, right? Like
yeah,
you want to create content in association with this company. Is that correct?
yes, I
Okay,
create content when it relates to me.
gotcha. So when I'm looking at you, I see someone that's seasoned. I see someone that's sweet. I see someone that probably understands how to take their health and wellness seriously, right? And so if you look over here at this archetype sheet, um, and this has already been done, like I said, this has already been done for you. They're archetypes, and when you watch movies, you'll see them all over the place, right? The archetype of the innocent, the archetype of the sage, the archetype of the explorer, the outlaw, or the magician, or the hero, or the lover, right? And so what we're doing is we're going in here and we're going, okay, who am I? If I see you, I see a sage, right? And so I see someone that's going to give me advice. I see someone that's kind. I see someone that's going to bring me on a journey, the Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars, right? Like that person is the person that like, I'm coming here for that content. And so when you Oh, there you go. So Midge, when you are creating content, I want you to think about you being the sage, right? And so your location when you guys are when you're shooting has to have that feel, right? It's got to have this like new age, maybe some cloth in the background, maybe some beads hanging down, like, but it's got you don't but you see what I'm
So can
saying?
you
Like,
see?
there
I
you
guess
go.
you
Exactly.
can't see, but I
Yes,
have a
exactly.
Buddha
My
behind me.
point. Yes, my point exactly. And it's like, but I would, do you see how I can see all of the pictures and the frame and everything? Like I would bring the camera up so that I'm not looking at the ceiling, right? And don't worry about it now, but
Oh,
yeah. But like really
okay.
clean up the background, right? And then like, and I know you're on a Zoom. I'm not I'm just kind of giving you some advice on like what you would want to do in terms of how you're going to set up these shots. And so you set up the shots in that environment, and the music you create should be meditation style music, should be
Hmm.
that sort of binaural beats, right? And so you're getting somebody in your world through your content, right? Like this is what I want you guys to start thinking about. Your content is a movie. Your content is a television show. Like don't just throw it together, right? Like let's be intentional about it, and then that becomes part of your branding, which is why I want you guys to think about what is my archetype? How am I coming across so that when I see Midge and she's got all of that stuff in the background and I'm hearing the music, immediately I know why I'm going to her channel, right? Immediately the branding is clear, and confused people don't buy. They just don't. And that's the
No.
problem with a lot of businesses is that they're confused. They're brand confused. Oh, they want to do this and they have this offer and then they have this offer and then and I'm like, time out. One offer. One
One
offer. That's
offer.
it. And then
Right.
once they're in, then you can upsell. But you can't upsell them if from the get-go. They're like drinking fire, they're drinking water from a fire hose and they're out. So one offer, and here's the beautiful thing about an offer, right? And you guys can think about this too, is like, how can I put this offer into a package, which is what I've done with content into clients. Yes, there's several steps to my process, but the entire process is what I'm selling, right? Content into clients is my package. So you need to think about what is the one thing, the flagship product, the thing that makes you unique, the thing that is going to hook people and go, that's going to solve my problem. And then once they're in, then you can upsell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's what so for archetypes for you, Midge, I'm going sage, I'm going new age, I'm going, give me drapes in the background, give me some, binaural beat music, and keep my energy is high. Your energy might be real relaxed. Listen, and then this, and it's got to be, and I'm answering questions. And if I'm answering questions, I'm answering questions like the sage, right? And I'm making you feel comfortable. And this is why you should be using stem cells, right? And this is the things that, right? And so immediately I'm not confused. I am not confused. I know who this woman is. I'm following her. I'm buying. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Great. All right. Thank you for
Thank
volunteering.
you. Oh,
Yes,
thank
absolutely.
you. So I
100%.
just wanted you to say that my tagline for, I don't know, probably over 20 years has been spirit at work.
There you go. 1000%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it. All right, let's move on to
Thank you.
how,
Thank
yeah,
you.
you 100%. You're welcome. So this is how you guys can create, this is how you guys can get the topics, right? So you guys can get topics from YouTube, obviously Google. TikTok is now a search engine. And I know I talked about Pinterest, right? If you guys want sticky headlines, go to Pinterest because they're already there. And this is the thing. It's not, you're not plagiarizing and you're not stealing the topics. I mean, the content, right? Like the topics you guys are taking, that's okay to take, right? It's the topic. The content is what's different, right? And here's the deal, Midge and everybody on here has a perspective. They have so many years of experience, right? And they're looking at the world through a lens that only you guys have. And so that's why your message is important. Like, don't deprive the world of your message because you have hangups about who you are and why people should be listening to you. And we'll talk about imposter syndrome here in a second. But don't get caught up in that. Like, just find these topics and start answering the questions. And here's the thing, guys, that at the very beginning, it's not going to be that great, and that's okay. I have before and afters of all of my clients so that they can see themselves the first month and then they can see themselves the 6th month. And then they can see themselves 2 and 3 years from now. And it is completely different. I promise you, when I first started this, I'm a good actor. You give me a script, I'm going to perform the script, right? But me speaking off the cuff was not something that I was good at. And I'll show you. I was I went to the red carpet for a movie I did with Will Smith called Focus, and they were interviewing me on the red carpet, and I was just at the so awkward. I could not speak. And I started doing content, and through this, I learned how to be off the cuff, how to trust my instincts, how to just say the first thing that comes to my mind and not worry about being perfect because I'm not perfect and nobody's perfect and it shouldn't matter. Right. So don't worry about it, any of that stuff. Just find these topics and start answering these questions. Now, let's talk about your social media calendar. You have to set yourself up for success. You have to make sure that you have a distribution strategy in place, because if you create 150 pieces of content and you don't have a strategy in place to distribute this content, it's just going to live in a Google Drive, and that does nothing for you, right? Like, it does absolutely nothing if it's just sitting in a Google Drive somewhere. So get a product like Asana, Asana, right? Or Monday.com. They have, social media distribution platforms out there. And so create your calendars months, 2 or 3 months ahead, right? With the topics that you found on YouTube, Google, TikTok, Pinterest, and you start plugging them in. Right now, you have a calendar as to when this stuff comes out, because you want to do all of this stuff ahead of time. Pre-plan this stuff so you're not having to think about it in the distribution phase, which we'll talk about here in a second. Pre-plan what you're going to shoot, pre-plan what you're going to distribute. Then you guys can go into production. So get a program like Asana, get a program like Monday.com, and then start inputting all of your topics into that calendar, and then you should be good to go. Cool. Here's another case study with a client of mine. Brett Thomas has a web design company in Slidell. I told him, I said, Brett, you're sitting on a gold mine, but you're not putting out any content. I don't understand. And yeah, we more than tripled his business in 6 months because we started giving him the strategy. He started posting, we started shooting his content, and now he's franchising his business to several cities within the United States. So super powerful stuff. And this is the video of it. Once again, I'll send that to you. So I know I said this at the very beginning, but how are you guys showing the health of your business? Does anybody know?
Through podcasts.
Podcasting, content, social media, That's how people are seeing the health of your business. Nobody's going to your website. They might go to a website for a phone number, but they're getting their information from YouTube. They're getting their information from TikTok. They're getting information from Instagram, and it's only getting higher and higher and higher on those social media platforms. And guess what, guys? Guess who's all coming up the pike? All of these younger kids. And where do you think these younger kids are hanging out? Social media. Where do you think they're getting their research? Social media. Who you think are going to buy your stuff? These guys. Your clients are living on social media, and it's only growing by the day. So the best time to start creating content is 10 years ago. The second best time to start creating content is today. That's just the reality, right? Because if you want to show that your business is healthy, you have to post on social media. That's the only way people are going to know. Oh, look, he's posting every day. This business must be doing well. Oh, what he's saying must be true. And here's it's a beautiful side effect of creating content. A beautiful side effect, right? Is that it forces you to live up to what you're talking about, right? If you're a personal trainer, can't be fat, got to be a personal trainer, right? If I'm telling people that, hey, I'm making money with my content and I'm not making money with my content, there's a disconnect. So me being on social media daily, talking about how this grows my business, it's forcing me to walk the walk. And in so doing, I'm living and I'm receiving the ROI. Does that make sense? So you guys creating content on the daily basis is reinforcing your message and reinforcing who you say you are. That's another beautiful side effect of creating content on a monthly basis, which is why you guys need to be starting today, right? So that shows the health of your business. And that is secret number one. Secret number two, how to shoot your content. So let's talk about what we're doing in creating the content. And we want to batch create this content in one day because it is not realistic. I promise you, it's not realistic that every single day you're going to be up for creating content. Maybe you will. And it takes a while, right? Like 2, 3, 4 years down the road, you might be in the mindset that I can create content on a daily basis. But even me, that I create content regularly, some days I just don't feel like creating content. And guess what? I'm still posting every day. If you follow me on social media, there's not one day that goes by I'm not posting content. And it's not me. It is not me posting content. I batch created it, and then my social media manager puts it out. Now, if you don't have the money to pay somebody to push it out for you, then let's talk about how we can teach you how to do it so that you're more effective with your time, so that it's not taking all of the time, right? Because I know a lot of people talk about, oh my God, I can't do social media. It's just so much. It's just so much. I get it. It's probably because you don't have a plan, right? And it's probably because you didn't batch create the content. So one day a month, you're going to batch create this content. Go, if you're a lady, I'm sure you already have makeup, but if you're a guy, go get makeup. It's just powder. Go to MAC, say, hey, I'm doing content on film. Please match my color, and then get some powder so that, you can remove the shine and all of that stuff. I don't have makeup on today, but when I do my content, I do. Anyway, so secret number 2, let's batch create that content in one day. So we also talk about a variety of different content. Don't just do the same thing over and over and over again, right? You want to speak the same message, but you want to deliver it in a variety of ways. Does that make sense? We want to keep telling people what it is that we do. And here's the thing about that. I read a book once. It's called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. And in the book, it says people are only going to remember 17% of a conversation. This webinar right now, you guys are only going to remember 17% of this webinar. And that is only if you guys are completely focused right now. Not that there's 3 tabs open on your computer, or maybe you're playing a game, or maybe you're scrolling on social media. Like, if that's the case, it's even less. So if that is the case, if that people are only absorbing 17% of a conversation, then that means we've got to pound it every single day. Our message, because it takes 17 touches for a prospect to become a client these days, as noisy as it is. Right. And you're going to say, Armando, well, it's super saturated. Why should I even try? Because Your competition is doing it and they're taking your clients. You have to. It's not a luxury anymore. It's not something that you should I be doing this? No, you absolutely should be, because your clients are doing it. Your competition's doing it and they're taking your money. So, variety of different content. We're talking podcasting, we're talking reels, we're talking history ofs, we're talking the listicles that I was telling you about, right? Like your top 5 lists. And it's the variety of different content. And here's some video content ideas that I'll send you guys. Once again, I'll send you this this whole PowerPoint so that you guys have it. So, offer videos, and that's the 20% of the content I told you guys you should be posting on social media. Offer videos. Like if you have a Black Friday deal, or if you have a call to action, or if you have 10% off on something, those are the videos that you can put out 20% of the time. The others are holiday video. So, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, happy Christmas. Hey, it's the new year, whatever. Parody videos are fun. Trending reels are fun. Podcast setup. Get yourself. And here's a little secret, right? You can set up a podcast and have a colleague or a friend of yours ask questions, and you're in a podcast setting, so it immediately looks like you have the authority. It just visually, it looks like you're being interviewed on different podcasts. So it's super easy. Those topics, get the topics, get yourself one of these, get yourself one of these nice microphones, and set up a podcast, and then answer questions, right? Slice of life documentary videos. What's going on in your world? How's it happen? What's on the horizon? Anything going on that we should know about? Top 10 videos, like I said, do really well. Video testimonials do so good. Guys, those third-party testimonials in the sales process will smash your sales. Like, if you guys don't have third-party testimonials, you're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, because you're not using that in your sales process. Because it's better for somebody else to say it than it is for you to say it. Music videos are fun, and then, like I said, fun or weird history. Here's a case study with Rick Jordan. He's a managed service provider. He's acquiring about 500 MSPs, 8-figure business. Had some nice things to say about us. And once again, I'll send you all of this stuff because you guys can't hear it. All right. So, like I said, what we learned through this trial and error process is that the variety is the spice of life. A combination of highly produced videos and phone footage is the recipe. And like I said, the content must either build value, educate, or entertain. That's it. And I put in here 70% value build, 30% ask for business. These days, I'm doing 80% value build, 20% ask for business. And I'm growing as a result, right? So, secret number 3, how to engage on social media the right way to create credibility, trust, and more sales. Here's the secret sauce that people all forget about. 80%, statistics are made up. What is it? 80% of statistics are made up on the spot. But I will tell you that most businesses out there are not doing this. And I'm going to show you what it is. It is engaging with your audience, right? Family, friends, clients, prospects, and number one, it should be number one, your referral partners. That's who you guys need to be interacting with on social media. Stop thinking about the one-offs and start thinking about the people that are going to be able to introduce you to everybody. That's what you need to be focused on social media, and commenting, liking, adding stories, add them to listicles, introduce them to other people, right? That's the engagement part of this whole process that makes this thing work and really adds fuel to the fire. So the engagement strategy is, follow your clients and leads, right? And your referral partners. Follow other businesses in your niche. Follow your competitors. I'm so abundance mindset. I have such an abundance mindset that I don't worry about my competition, because I don't view them as competition. Because guess what? There's so much business out there that I can't even handle it. My competition can't even handle the business that they have. Right? So don't even worry about it. As a matter of fact, create some strategic partnerships. I have some with my competition, right? Because I know that they don't do what I do, and I don't do what they do. So So look out and follow these people, follow people in your industry, follow referral partners, post tips and tricks. Yep, it is. It's true. Follow your pages your competition follows. Look into Facebook groups. Facebook groups will, oh my God, I could spend a whole hour on just on how to use Facebook groups to increase your bottom line. Like 50 posts a day, comment on 50 posts a day, respond to stories. Like just be engaging on social media. And once again, if you don't have the time, find a virtual assistant. I've got and reach out to me. I've got a guy who's got a company called Strategic. What is it? Strategic Assistance. Yeah, SAS, a strategic partnership, something like that. Anyway, I've got my VAs from there, and they are so helpful, and they are going to help you grow your business. So the things that you don't have the time to do that you can pay somebody to do, I highly recommend getting a virtual assistant for that, right? Research, posting on social media, all that good stuff. So case study with Audrey Chisholms is another attorney that I saw go from 700K a year in revenue to 2.4 million in 6 months. And like success leaves clues, right? Success leaves clues. She's a beast though. This lady, she's a beast. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about imposter syndrome, because I know that this is probably one of the biggest hurdles that every single person has. And I'm not, and this even goes for people that have been doing this for a long time. Every time you move up a level, right, you have this imposter syndrome, right? Because you've never been where you are today. You've just arrived, right? And as you grow as a person, you're going to continue to have some level of imposter syndrome, right? What I say to those that have imposter syndrome is, once again, do not rob the world of your message because you have hangups about yourself. We're our own worst critic, right? And me and Midge, right, can have the exact same message. I'm talking word for word, verbatim, the exact same message. But do you think that if Midge says it, she's gonna resonate with a completely different audience than I will?
Yes.
100%. Yeah. Like, my audience is not Midge's audience. We might have overlap, and that's okay, right? But I'm not trying to go after her audience. She has her audience. I have my audience, and then we have people in the middle. So people get too caught up with who they are and how am I going to get judged, and this looks like crap, and maybe I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I don't look good, this video looks the bad quality, like we can judge ourselves till we die, and we probably will. But that should not stop you from moving forward with content creation because you have hangups about yourself. And here's the deal: the faster you get that out of the way, the faster you get the bad feeling out of the way of not doing it right, the quicker you will get to that feeling of, oh, I got the hang of this. This makes sense. Like, it's just like anything else in life. When we learn how to ride a bike, when we learn how to drive a car, when we learn how to tie our shoes, like, we were terrible at everything at first. And that's the thing. Like, everybody thinks that they're going to get on social media and immediately be like the best. And they don't want to have the feeling of, they don't want to have that bad feeling of like, oh, this is not that great. But I promise you, you will get past it. The quicker you start, the quicker you will move past it. And I on the end, on the other side of that rainbow, there is so much money. And I know this is content into clients, but I'm telling you right now, dude, just stay with it. Yeah, too old, too young. Like, yeah, everybody has their own hangups. We're not even, just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop judging yourself. Just move forward, right? So that's enough about imposter syndrome. So look, this works. I know it works. I do it every day. How much batch content should you have before distribution? I would say figure out what your posting schedule is. If you want to post every day, then you better have 60 pieces of content, right? If you want to post 20 times a month, which would be Monday through Friday, then have 40. So the double amount, right? So that you never run out of content. I always overshoot, which is why I say, shoot 150 pieces of content. But yeah, figure out a good posting schedule that you know that you can stay consistent with, whatever that is, 5 times a week, every day, whatever, and go, okay, that is, and there it becomes a non-negotiable. Like you have to make it a non-negotiable, because that's another thing with marketing companies. They never treat themselves like they're a client, and that's why they don't grow. I know marketing companies all the time. They're like, oh, my product is great. I'm like, why aren't you posting content about it? Well, I just don't have the time. I make it a non-negotiable that our company is number one client, because if we're not growing consistently, we're not going to have the top line revenue to continue growing. So we have to treat our business as a number one client. So keep that in mind. 40, if you're going to do Monday through Friday, have 40. If you're going to do daily, I would have 60 pieces of content and have that in the bank ready to go in that Asana, so that the video is there. You don't have to go searching for it. You can put the link in that way on your phone. Bop, 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 bop. 10 minutes. In 10 minutes a day, I'm posting all of those videos everywhere. Super quick. So that's a good rule of thumb for you. Consistency is key, guys. I don't want you to think about the end of this month. I don't want you guys to think about 2, 3, 4 months from now. I want you to think about at the end of 2024. If we are putting in, do the math for me real quick. What is 30 pieces of content a month times 12?
360.
360. So you're going to have, I want you to think that at the end of 2024, you are going to have 360 pieces of content. Do you believe that if you put out 360 pieces of content in 2024, that you are not going to at least triple your revenue in 2024? Do you believe that? I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I'm recording this session right now. I guarantee that if you put out 360 pieces of value-built content in 2024, you will triple your income. And you can take that to the bank. And I'm telling you triple, because I know it's a lot more than that. I know it's a lot more than that. I've seen it. I've done it. My clients have done it. If you commit to putting out 360 pieces of content in 2024, you will own it. You will own the space. So keep that in mind. And here's the beautiful thing. Once again, if you're creating content on a monthly basis, you're always going to tweak it as you go, right? Because every month you're going to go, oh, this video is doing really well. Let's do more of that, right? Like you're getting real-time feedback from your audience as to what they like. And guess what? If they don't like it, they're not going to watch it. If they like it, they're going to like it. They're going to comment. They're going to share, right? And then you got good video, right? And then, you hang around me and I'm going to help you out too, right? And we'll talk about how I can help you here in a second. So this works. I know you guys can see this works, obviously. How many of you guys are excited? Y'all excited?
Yes.
It's exciting,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I mean, this is an exciting time. 2024, guys, if you guys aren't excited about 2024, got to change that mindset, because I promise you, it's going to be big. It is going to be big, and people are going to make a lot of money. And I promise you, if you stick around here, if you stick around in this ecosystem, you can't help but make money. You can't help but hang out with people that are making money. And that's the thing, that's one of the things that I've decided to do 3 years ago is, who am I hanging out with? I'm hanging out with people that are making 8, 9 figures, and I'm taking notes. And these notes that I'm taking, I'm giving them to you guys for free right now. This is all of the stuff that I've learned over the last 4 years working with people that are making 8, 9 figures. So a lot of this stuff, I wish it could be like Armando says. It's not Armando says. It's Armando's visibly looked at all of these people being successful, taking notes and going, hey, success leaves clues. Let me put my program together. Okay, great. This is my program. Boom. Let's go. So super easy. I know I know it can also feel super overwhelming. So I'm going to spend, if that's okay with y'all, the next 10 minutes on how I can help you guys. Is that cool? Sweet. If you don't want to hear about it, you don't have to hear about it. But I'm going to show you guys the fastest growth marketing system in the world, and that's content into clients. With it, you're going to grow your business, and you guys are going to have the right tools to save time and save money. Here's the deal. I'm going to single-handedly save you at least 4 years of trial and error trying to do this by yourself. Like, let's circumvent all of that stuff and let's get to where we want to go faster. And that's what I'm going to help you with. So, how many clients do you really need? You do not need 1 million clients to make $1 million. And do not get caught up in the vanity metrics. I know everybody's like, I want to go viral. I want to go viral. Like, it doesn't matter. I know people that have millions of followers and they are broke, right? That is not what you should be focused on. What you should be focused on is, how am I building value? How am I setting myself up as the authority? How am I being consistent with my brand? And am I posting consistently? That's what you should be focused on. And I promise you, if you do that, you'll hit 7 figures. So here's my creative consulting. Here's my creative consulting services and what it includes. It's $2,500. And it's us developing and doing pre-production for all of your content. So developing your messaging and branding, typecasting sessions, what we just did with Midge, we'll do with you, except it'll be a lot more just in depth, right? So like, we're really going to figure out, okay, what are your colors? What should be the location? How are we doing that, right? We're going to do a full social media audit on all of your platforms. We're going to help set up your social media calendar creation. We're going to come up with 150 pieces of content for you, so you don't have to think about it, right? We're going to create your Dream 100 list. We're going to show you how you're going to start your own podcast so you can use it for your referral network, right? We're going to help you write them scripts. We're going to help you with hiring your crew, talk about, help you with casting and give you some really good ways to hire actors. Once again, Facebook groups, help you with locations, help you with logistics. We're going to help you distribute your content. We're going to teach you how to distribute your content. So keep in mind, this creative consulting services, these are a done with you system and not a done for you system. We do have a done for you system if you're interested. And just let me know. And like I said, we can come in and do all of this stuff for you with my team. But we wanted to offer a done with you system because we don't know where you are budget wise. So we wanted to kind of keep this open for everybody, right? So that everybody could get value. We'll teach you how to monetize your content. You'll have access to our Facebook group, and we'll also start to talk about how you guys can create a webinar just like this so that you can use this as also a selling tool, right? Our group coaching calls are $200 a month. So this is every week, and we'll meet, and you'll meet with my other clients, and we'll talk about, in a group setting, what it is that you guys are struggling with. So if you guys want to get that group call, let me know. And then I have an online course called Content into Clients. And this is everything that I was talking about today, but in like mega detail. And it's in an online course, and that you guys can have access to it at any time. So that's $199. He who fails to plan is planning to fail. And I already had the plan for you, so you don't have to worry about it. I got another case study from Richard Jaffe, personal injury attorney in New York. He is killing it as well. Said some beautiful things about us. Here's some of the people that we work with. And look, if you're not ready to scale, that is okay. What you're going to do is you're going to want to create predictability in your income so that you can scale, right? Because if you don't have top line revenue coming in, you don't have a business. And that is the problem with most businesses, is that it fluctuates. Maybe they have a great month in September, and then October is bad. And then they're back up, and then they're back down. What we want to do is we want to create stability, and stability comes from predictability. Every Friday, Applebee's knows how much food they need to buy because they've done the analytics, right? So that they're not wasting food and they're maximizing profits. It's the same thing. Like, marketing should be predictable, right? And it will be if you stay consistent. And so when you create consistency in your posting, you will create consistency in your revenue. With consistency comes predictability. And then with predictability comes scalability. So So that's that. And today, since you guys have been so beautiful in hanging out with me today, I got a special offer for those of you that are on this call right now for the next 48 hours. If you guys sign up in the next 48 hours, I will give you the creative consulting services, the content into cash online course that also needs to be changed. If you can remind me, Will, the group coaching call as well. And usually it'd be $28.99, but today, if you guys sign up, it's only $8.50. So let me know if that's something that you guys want to do, and then I'm gonna Will, if you can pop that link into the chat. There you go. In the chat right there, there's a link to do the 850. And here's the beautiful thing about Stripe. And when you, I recommend using Stripe, guys, because they have a thing called Affirm, and Affirm will pay you all of the money, but it will allow the person that's buying from you to pay it over time. And then Affirm can take on the payments. So highly recommend using Stripe. We've definitely benefited from that. So, but if you guys look at the if you guys look in there, you'll see the link to the 850 today, and we can rock and roll as soon as next week. So don't wait, participate, and let me know if I can help you. So I'm going to open it up for questions. I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to come in here and open it up for questions. Do you guys have questions?
Okay, I do.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So is it when you're talking about this program, is it singly, or can we have a little, 2 or 3 of us doing this together? Because what I have found over the years is that I can't do this all on my own.
Sure.
I need a team of people to help. Plus, I'm going to celebrate my 77th birthday this week. And
Hey,
oh
happy
my
birthday.
God, I have a lot to say.
That's awesome.
So
For sure.
I need more people.
Midge is 77 years old, and this woman does not stop. You hear me? She's up
That's
in
awesome.
Idaho, and she has a lot of energy. So we're going to work with you, Midge. We just got to figure out what we can work. But I'm not sure. We'll figure out some way of how to help you out, get started in some way.
Well, I'm
sure.
going to do it because I've been talking about this for frickin' 30 years,
There
or
you
more
go.
than that.
Time to start. Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. We have like I said, we have a done for you system, and we can talk offline about that.
Okay.
Renee, you have her number?
Yes, he does.
Okay, great. So yeah, let's set up a we'll set up a call. And look, that's for everybody on this call. If you guys want a done for you system, we can obviously do this for you, right? So just let me know.
Well, I don't really want it done for me because I want to be participating.
Of
It's just that
course.
there is so much, I've tried to do it a lot on my own.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot. It's just a lot. And,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be in front of the computer 24/7.
I understand.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah. When I say done for you, that means that you're involved in the process, but my team is helping you at every aspect, from the development to the pre-production to the production, editing, and the distribution. So, and we have different packages ranging from $2,500 a month to like $15,000 a month. So it depends.
Oh, I'd love to pay you $15,000 a month. That would be
We would love that as
awesome.
well. We would love that as well.
Of course, I have to pay Renee too. So
yeah, no worries. Does anybody else have any questions? Lindy, Ray, please send me this meeting to show my partner. Yep. Yes, there will be a replay. And I'll send it to you. Yeah, we'll send it to you, the replay. Sweet deal. All right, I'm going to stop recording then.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions,